Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and today let's talk about American history. Rob Schneider, who was a SNL cast member in the 80s, then became a big movie star in the 90s, and he still is a big movie star to this day. However, he changed his affiliation this past election season that just went by to Republican because uh, for the first 50 years of his life, he was a red, well, I would say for the first 40 years of his adult life, he was a registered Democrat, but he feels that Democratic Party has moved away from the narrative that it tried to show itself as in the 1960s. And so he decided to switch party affiliation, which is okay to do. We have the right to do that in this country. So, um, now a lot of Democratic celebrities on Twitter and on Facebook are losing their collective minds over this tweet that he said. He said, and I'm quoting the tweet exactly, "I haven't seen Democrats this mad since we'd freed the slaves, and everybody's having a hissy fit over it. But it's true. That tweet is legitimately true. I've seen more registered Democrats have a breakdown, mentally and physically, over Donald Trump's election win. And I haven't seen Democrats that mad since the Republican Party freed the slaves. That's true. Uh, so I don't see what's inherently wrong with what he said. And also, he was also explaining American history pretty well. Allow me to explain. John Fugelsang on Facebook decided to snapshot his retweet of Rob Schneider's tweet. And he said, "Liberals freed the slaves and conservatives fought to preserve slavery. I disagree. It's actually quite the opposite way around. Republicans have always been conservative. They will forever be conservative. That's their title of their ideology is conservative. They will always be conservative. Democrats will always be liberal. That's the term to describe their ideology. They will always be liberal. However, though, liberals fought to preserve slavery and conservatives fought to end slavery. This is American history, John. You can't sugarcoat it. You shouldn't whitewash American history. Democrats wanted to preserve slavery. Republicans wanted to abolish it. This is why we had the Civil War. So anyway, Lincoln and the Republicans, who were the conservatives. Now, in this day and age, you can't judge a collective group of people based on an ideology term. You have to judge people based on their individual person. And I know conservatives who still have the mentality of no man shall be a slave to the slave owner. And I know plenty of conservatives that have that mentality and who have legitimately no prejudice bones in their body. But I also know conservatives that are prejudiced and racist. It's the same thing with liberals. I know liberals who follow that no man shall be a slave to the slave owner mentality. And I know liberals who are bigoted. You have to judge people based on their individual person. So when I hear people say that, it's the liberals that fought slavery, no, they fought to preserve it. Now, to go into more depth, there were Democrats in the North that were pissed off beyond belief that slavery was abolished. And one of these Democrats is John Wilkes Booth. John Wilkes Booth, who ended up assassinating Republican President Abraham Lincoln. And so a lot of these racist Democrats decided to move away from the North and decided to fight for the South, which we call the Rebel Army. Now, there's a particular type of person who was on the Rebel Army, who was a Democrat, but who was opposed to slavery. He found it was a moral and sinful crime, and that is no other than Robert E. Lee. He was opposed to slavery, and he was asked by Abraham Lincoln if he wanted to be the head commander of the Union Army. He wanted to, as he explains in his journals that are at the Robert E. Lee University. He explains in his journal entries he wanted to, but he felt that if he fought for the Union, he would betray his homeland of Virginia. So he decided to fight for the rebels. And he made that decision based on, loyalty, which I can respect. I respect anybody, regardless of race, creed, or gender, or religion affiliation, that has loyalty towards their town or city, or to a community. I can respect, and I do respect, loyalty. So he made that decision based on loyalty alone. Now, so we have everything leading up to the Civil War. The North wanting to industrialize the South. The South wanting to preserve slavery. The North saying, even though, let's be honest, no white person, regardless if they were Democrat or Republican, seen black people as 100% human beings. They seen them as 2/3 of human beings. However, though, and that's what the Republicans view black Americans as, 2/3 of a human being. They at least seen them as some type of human being. I wish it would have been, a complete human being, but you know what? We can't change American history. It is what it is. So, you have the Republicans that wanted to end slavery because it was morally wrong. You have the Democrats, like I said, who didn't see black Americans as human whatsoever. And so, now, here's where the conflict comes in. So, to reply to John Fugelsang through video, as I've been doing, Republicans will always be conservative, and the conservative side, flew the American flag and fought against slavery and abolished it under the presidency of Abraham Lincoln, Republican. And the South, the Democratic side, the liberal side, flew the Confederate flag, fought to preserve slavery, and inevitably started the Ku Klux Klan because of their loss of the Civil War. This is American history. I remember all this because I'm fascinated with it. I'm fascinated with our nation's history, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, this video is about 10 minutes long, but I hope you guys enjoy. And I hope you learned a little something about our nation's history. I will do another video, political ideology and American history, soon. I hope you guys enjoy. See ya.